Okay, welcome to the Advanced User Forum. This is Michael, and I'll be your host today. We also have Andrea on chat to answer any questions real time if you have any questions during the presentation. We will, of course, open the floor for question afterwards. On the screen right now, you will see the accompanying document for today's forum. So Andrea will be sharing that with everyone if you'd like to follow along or use it later for reference. So today's forum will be on sale price structure. Just keep in mind this is for customer sale prices, not cost. There is a separate forum for that. The focus of today's forum will be on managing those sale prices. So managing sale prices in Prima determines your customer pricing in both the back office and the web. We're going to go over featured items, contracts, mailers, pricing bands, and the rules that decide which price is used. You'll also learn how Prima calculates the sale price in quotes, orders, and in your price checks. So the rules we're going to go over are numbered 1 through 7, with 1 being the highest priority. So our first priority is going to be our featured special price. And if you're following along on the document, you'll see it's right there, listed as number 1. So basically, if the product is set to featured special price, the special price entered against that unit will be used. Special prices will apply to all customers without exception. So let's go over what that entails. So within a product, we'll just go right in, and we'll go to our products, units, and pricing. And what it's referring to is this checkbox right here, featured product special price. We'll assign that. And if you highlight the item, at the bottom, you can manually enter your special price. Save your changes. And as long as that's checked and your featured price is within date, has not expired, it will revert to this special price entered here. One thing to keep in mind as we move on to our next priority, which is contract price. If this box is checked, include contract price, this is your wild card that will override the featured price. So just keep in mind, if that is checked, that will revert to the contract price. Which takes us right into our next priority, customer standard contract. So again, we want to check that box there. But I also would like to show you, in case you're not familiar with how to add an item to a contract. Now, there's a couple of ways we can do that. We can do it right from a sales order. And from within the sales order, we want to go into our lines tab. And I've taken you to the lines tab because I want to show you one of the methods of also identifying the source of your selling price. So that first tab there, that source of selling price, lists all of your selling prices in order of priority right here. Later in the forum, we're going to touch on another method of checking, but if you're in a sales order, you can go right into your lines tab, source of selling price. You'll also see the add to contract button, and you can access that from your summary tab as well. So any line highlighted, you can simply add to contract. You can indicate your selling price or markup margin from here. Just keep in mind, whenever you select the markup margin, the pricing system key will determine whether a markup or margin is applied to the landed cost of the unit. So we've touched on how to check our pricing method by going into the line tab from a sales order, as well as how to add an item to a contract. So another method of adding an item to contract would be to go directly into the company itself. So if we go into the company, we'll see the option here to go into contract and pack list. And once we're inside, we can see all of the items assigned to a contract, highlight trash can to delete, hit new to add a new one. And at the bottom here, you'll also see the option. This is how you would address standard pricing versus markup. Moving on to priority number 3, customer's ultimate parent standard contract. Now that's basically just saying that in addition to contracts, if there is a parent-child relationship, the Prima will automatically check to see if there is a parent against that child. So as opposed to having to create another contract for this customer, if they have a parent-child relationship and that parent has a contract, that child would automatically inherit that contract, saving you the time of having to recreate it. Okay, moving on to priority number 4, which is our price break. For those of you that are not familiar with price breaks, we do have a forum on that separately. It's pretty detailed, and that the link to that forum will also be provided in the document Andrea's providing, and you can also access it on our Fresh Desk, of course. So a price break essentially is a discounted price for bulk items that are purchased. So whenever that's been assigned, a price break has been assigned, these prices will take effect after any featured or contract pricing. And to address that, we simply want to go back into the company, products pricing, and we want to check that price break. So keep in mind, there are also some pricing rules that have been phased out. If you have questions about those, again, there will be a link provided in step number 5 on the accompanying article. It goes into detail about some of those phased out pricings that's been upgraded or replaced with the terms we're going over now. Okay, so number 6 on our priority list would be direct mailer pricing. So this is when the direct mailer pricing method is checked for the customer. So we simply want to go back into our customer, product and pricing. And in this case, we're going to use direct mailer pricing. Now, once that's selected, you can add your publication over here. You'll see the catalogs and mailers, add publication, select from the drop down. Just a few things to keep in mind if you're using direct mailer pricing. The item code must exist within a mailer that is assigned to the customer. Item code must match the code in the mailer. Mailer must be in date. And if there's no priority set against the mailer and the item exists on multiple mailers assigned to the customer, it will take the cheapest of those mailer prices. If there is a priority set, it will take the price based on the priority order. So if the item does not appear on any of the scenarios above, there's still a safety net, and it will revert to simply just the cheapest price using any or all of the following. So we're going to go over a few steps here that apply to this cheapest price summary. Just keep in mind there are exceptions and variances for when you're dealing with cash customers. And again, there is a Fresh Desk article on that will be provided in the documentation. So the first option for our cheapest price would be your mailer price. So if we go into our mailer, so if mailer price is assigned to the customer and the customer is not set to use the direct mailer pricing, this will be the default. Just keep in mind that the mailer must be in date. The next cheapest price option would be products unit selling price, and that's if the item has been created as a product. And then we have selling price against the catalog. And just keep in mind that the catalog must be in date. And I'll go there. In regards to your mailer priority, this is what it's referring to here. And these are your dates to make sure this has not expired. For catalog pricing, let's go to our catalog module. And again, catalogs must be in date, and we must use the best price option here. Check that best price, confirm that it has not expired. Next on our cheapest price option would be our pricing band. Again, very detailed topic that we have a very informative forum available for as well on the pricing band. If this is assigned against a product or the catalog item, again, catalog must be in date and the item must be marked for best pricing. If the item does not exist in a best price catalog, then it will take the cheapest price from any catalogs that are in date. And lastly, I just want to touch on a couple of ways you can check to see how a item price has been calculated. So we went over the first option, which was checking right there in the lines tab of the sales order. You also have the option to go right here in your price check. And we want to enter our customer. Oops, I need to save in the background, sorry. And we'll search for our item. And then we'll search. So it's the same format as in the sales order. It lists all of your sources of pricing based on priority right here. So that's pretty much it for today. I do thank you for joining. We will now open the floor for any questions.